Alright, in this hour, we're going to follow up by having a little bit more look of the business letter and something that we have, some of the very key points have been mentioned in the previous hour. And in this follow up hour, I hope that I can give you a little bit more extra reminders or some other extra points for you to understand. Hoping that in the future, if you really need to understand what a business letter is like, or if you really need to write up a business letter yourself, you're going to figure out how to do it. Okay, and since this is a TOEIC 750 points class, I'm just hoping that as a participant of this online course, you should be able to understand better. You should be able to get a broader sense of what business letters and what business correspondence or some other things that has to do with business should be somewhere kept in your memory or in your mind. Okay, so let's continue into the Word format file. So this is the letter that I collected. So it's kind of like assignment here. So if you look at the heading there, right length of a business letter. So what we're going to read and what we're going to figure out later is the length of what a business letter should be like. Okay, and then I want you to analyze each of this following three samples. Okay, so there are three samples here for you to follow, and now I'm going to read it by myself. So you can either read it with me, or you can either read it after me, or maybe just do whatever you like. Okay, so sample number one. Dear sir, thank you for your inquiry. We have a wide selection of watches which you are sure you will like. We will be sending a catalog soon. Yours faithfully. Okay, so according to last hour, we have mentioned that if you don't know whom you're addressing to, you should use yours faithfully, right? Dear sir or dear ma'am, dear madam, yours faithfully. Okay, this is the complimentary clause you should use here. And then let's move on. This is the first sample, pretty short, right? Pretty short. Okay, let's now move on to sample number two. Dear Mr. Zimmer, thank you for your inquiry of 5th November. We enclose our winter catalog and a price list giving details of CIF London prices, discounts, and delivery dates. Though you will see we offer a wide selection of watches, may we draw your attention to pages 23 to 28 and pages 31 to 36, where there are styles we think might suit the market you describe. On page 25, you will find our latest designs in pendant watches, which are already selling well. All our products are fully guaranteed and backed by our worldwide reputation. If you need any further information, please contact us. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Yours sincerely. Okay, so this is the second sample, and I'm sure after you read it for the very first time, you probably get some of the better sense of this sample, right? Compared to the first sample, this sample actually contains a lot more important information. And now let's look at the third sample, and then we'll come back to all the details really quickly. Okay? For sample number 3, dear Mr. Zimmer, thank you very much for your inquiry of 5th November, which we received today. We often receive inquiries from large stores and always welcome them, particularly at this time of the year when we know that you will be buying in stock for Christmas. We have enclosed our winter catalog and are sure you will be extremely impressed by our wide range of watches. You will see that they include ranges for men, women, and children, with prices that should suit all your customers, from watches costing only a few pounds to those in the luxury bracket priced at several hundred pounds. But whatever price bracket you are interested in, we guarantee all our products for 2 years. Enclosed, you will find our price list giving full details of prices to London, inclusive of costs, insurance, and freight, and explain our discounts, which we think you will find very generous and which we hope you will take full advantage of. We are always available to offer you further information about our products and can promise you personal attention whenever you require it. This service is given to all our customers through the world, and as you probably know, we deal with countries from the Far East to Europe and London, America. This fact alone bears out our reputation. which has been established for more than 100 years and has made our motto "Time for Everyone" familiar worldwide. Once again, may we thank you for your inquiry and say that we look forward to hearing from you in the near future. Yours sincerely. Okay, so there are these three short samples are something that you get to read or something that you get to see in the TOEIC test, and even in the authentic business this in the authentic business world. So through the examples, I think you'll get a better sense of what the business letters are like. Okay, particularly when it comes to such a type in the TOEIC test. Okay, dear sir, thank you for your inquiry. We will have a wide selection of watches. Again, you're emphasizing that you have many different kinds of watches, right? Which you are sure you will like. We'll be sending the catalog really soon. Okay, so the information is easy, right? They have watches, and they think people will like it. Okay, and they will send the catalog really soon. So it sounds like a very let's say very simplistic one, 很简洁的，知道吗？ Very simplistic, but somewhat a little bit somewhat simple, too simplistic， 还是有点太简单了一点点哈。So now let's have a look at the second one. So dear Mr. Zimmer, so again, if you know whom you should address to, that will be better. Okay, make sure that you know whom you are addressing to, because somehow that could give more respect to the people over the other side. 通常你知道他是这个信要给谁的话，最好把那个书名写上去。如果真的不知道的话，即便 even if you may be addressing to the wrong person, but this person being addressed will of course pass off this letter to someone who's really in charge of the whole thing. Okay， 通常他会再转到那个负责那个人去哈。Thank you for your inquiry of 5th November. Okay, so clear, and then you give the greetings in the beginning. We enclose our winter catalog and the price list giving details of CIF London prices, discounts, and delivery dates. So here, CIF, of course, is one of the conditions for managing and then for running the freight and shipment. CIF 的话，念过贸史的同学都知道哈，它是其中一种贸易条件之一，这个细节我不多说哈。那这边他告诉你说，他也给了讯息，然后呢 ，Though you will see a wide selection of watches, may we draw attention to 哒哒哒哒哒，OK。这篇跟上一篇相较之下 by comparison, this one is a lot better. Why? Now that you have many different watches for people to figure out, why don't you just tell them these are what we're actually recommending you to have a better look? 你为什么就不告诉人家说，这是我要你看的那个，就是你特别可以翻到哪一页去哈？So you may direct your attention to the specific page numbers, so that the deal could be closed in the more let's say in the more possible way. Okay, the deal could be closed， 就是它可以比较容易成交哈。Where there are styles we think might suit the market to describe. 所以这里面呢，在23到28、31到36这边这几页里面 ，there are styles we might think that suit the market you describe， 可能刚好是他们需要的哈。On page 25, you will find our latest designs in pendant watches. Pendant watches 的话 ，if you Google this, you're going to see that 这有点像坠表的意思哈，就是坠子那种表 ，which are already selling well。来，这里有一个很重要的文法哈，那我用中文讲一下哈 ，sell 这个字你要注意哦。在文法里面，我们这个叫做 ergative structure， 就是说什么东西卖得很好。东西我们知道它不是人，那我们一般的印象里面，我们知道它要用被动式，对不对？可是 sell 这个动词比较特别 ，something sells well. Okay, so for example, Toyota sells well in Taiwan. Okay, Toyota cars sells well in Taiwan. 或者呢是什么？还有什么东西卖得很好 ？For example, maybe iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, OK 哈，they sell really well in Taiwan。那这个 sell 呢，注意到我刚刚讲前面即便它是物的话，我们还是用主动去写，这样知道吗？Which are already selling well， 在这里是这个道理哦，它是直接用主动去写，这样知道吗？哈 ，It's particularly about the usage of sell， 是动词 sell 这个动词的用法比较不一样哈。OK， 来，接下来 All our products are fully guaranteed and backed by our worldwide reputation。OK， 那我们所有的产品都 fully guaranteed， 就是怎么样100%的什么保证 guarantee 大家知道 and backed by our worldwide reputation backed or backed up back and then another word up back up 就支持对不对 back me up 你要支持我吧 back me up OK and here backed 是动词 If you need any further information, please contact us. We look forward to hearing from you soon. 那最后面呢，这个就是我们一般 This is how we actually wrap up a business letter, okay? You ask people for information, and then you look forward to hearing from them soon. 那重点是在这个地方，这个 ing 一定要加，为什么呢？Look forward to 是一个片语，知道吗？这个片语里面的 to 它是介系词的用法。那介系词呢，后面碰到动词的时候，你一定要加 ing，要把它变成 ing 的形式，这样知道吗？We look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, so this is how the second sample is all about. So far, sample 2, of course, is better than sample 1, right? Okay, now let's look at sample number 3. Dear Mr. Zimmer, thank you very much for inquiry of 5th November, which we received today. 实在有个啰嗦，知道吗？我管你什么时候收到，就是对方不需要知道你什么时候收到，知道吗？对方只要你回应他。So we often receive inquiries from large stores and always welcome them, particularly this time of the year. 哒哒哒哒哒。OK，最后他讲的这一句话在干什么呢？他在 kind of like bragging about themselves, okay, kind of like boasting, boasting 就是吹嘘那个感觉，知道吗？或者是说在强调他们自己是怎么样子的市场。But somehow this is too much. Okay, you don't really have to tell people that because when people want to figure out whether you are a good company, you don't really have to do this. Okay, just give them some hard data. So-called hard data is the numbers, the statistics. Okay. 你要对方知道你这公司做好或不好，你把一些数字这种东西丢给人家看哈。这量化的东西在业界还是很受到重视的哈，就是应该说比质化的东西更受到重视。So you need statistics, you need numbers, you need hard data to prove that you are a really good company. OK，所以不需要讲这种话。那在这边这个也是多讲太多哈。接下来 we have enclosed our winter catalog. I'm sure that you will see that include ranges for men. So here it's talking about the diversities of the watches. 他在讨论它的 diversity， 它的多样性，知道吗？那从集中多少到多少，然后呢，不管你价钱是多少，不管什么东西，我们都觉得就是我们呢最后都保证2年。那你中间这段话就不用讲，这样知道吗？So actually here this is kind of like redundant word. Redundant 就是 not needed. OK， 不需要字眼哈，就是我们保证2年，这样就好了，这样知道吗？So this is a little bit too much. OK, so here is another sample. So if you're thinking about working for the business in the future, well, watch out for this. Okay, you don't really need so much unneeded information, because in terms of business letters, well, all it requires is being concise. Okay, concise, CONCISE 叫简洁有力的，这样知道吗？哈 So this is again too much. And then enclosed you will find our price list, giving full details of prices in London, like inclusive of. This is what we usually say including, 知道吗？这个就叫 including, including, including 等于 inclusive of. OK 好，那这边呢是一个形容词的用法，包含什么东西？它一定要有个 of 在后面 ，inclusive of 包含了什么 cost, insurance and freight， 包含了这个价格哈。那 explaining our， 然后呢，它还有说 explain our discount 点点点点点。Which we think you'll find very generous. 然后呢，这个with which 指的是前面这个 discount， 知道吗？我们觉得你会发现 you will find what find discounts， 你会发现这个 discount very generous， 你会觉得我们非常大方。然后呢 which we hope you will take full advantage of. OK, take advantage of 叫利用 take full advantage of 这个就太多，知道吗？你会好好运用，你会善用它。关你什么事，知道吗？哈，对方的决定不是你这个卖家决定的，这样知道吗？Too much. Again, you don't have to say this much information. All right. We're always available to offer you further information about products and can promise you personal attention whenever you require it. 这个也是废话，知道吗？哈，那尤其最后这句话，他说，当你需要的时候，我们会给你个人的那个 personal attention， 就是会去照顾到你，会去让就是 这废话，知道吗？当你需要买东西的时候，of course you need someone to take care of that, right? You need a salesperson to see to what you need. Okay, so again, this is too much. Okay, the service is given to all customers through the world, and as you probably know, we deal with countries from the Far East, Europe, and Latin America. 这个地方在讲的时候就不需要在这里讲，就是说你要讲说你公司处理哪些客户哈，在上面的地方就要讲了，知道吗？哈，你到后面这里再讲的话，真的是多余的哈。然后 this fact alone 这个事实 alone 加在这边就是强调这个事实，这样知道吗？哈，这个事实或者是 this fact per se，有时候我们叫做 PERSE 两个字，知道吗？ per se 本身，知道吗？哈，this fact per se。This fact alone，这个事实本身呢，bears out our reputation，就是把这个事实本身呢，就是告诉你撑出来我们的荣誉哈，不荣誉就是我们的声誉。然后接下来我们再讲，他就说他们公司的那个 motto，OK，公司的那个 motto 呢，这个东西叫做公司的那个什么它的准则啦等等之类的，不用讲这个好吗？好啰里吧嗦的哈。This is should be seen in the catalog or somewhere else. Okay, so you don't need that. Once again, may we thank you for your inquiry and say that we look forward to hearing from you in the future. 好，那同学，这有一个很重要的事情是我们就像你在所有多益考试里面看过的商业文件里面，you actually don't see a lot of sentences ending with what? Ending with the question mark. Why? Because a question mark something that is not needed. A question mark something not needed. In the business letter, okay, in the business letter, why not? 在那个商业里面呢，其实不太会去用问句这件事情，知道吗？不太会去用问句这件事，因为就是呃，应该是说语言的使用的逻辑上面来讲，这个可以说很多东西。在文化上面来讲，they rather reason，OK，they rather reason，OK，they rather reason，what is going on there？他们会去用逻辑推演说就是他不会用问句的方式，而是用那个一种怎么讲，就是逻辑验证的方式去陈述你的想法，知道吗？所以我们在中文里头，我们会需要问很多问句的时候，就像我们会说不是吗等等之类这样子的附加问句去问别人，可是实际上在英文里面这个逻辑是不一样哈。Don't write you should avoid writing your sentences in the question. OK， 知道吗？哈，这个地方提醒你一下哈，这个地方提醒一下。好，so this is the reason why you should not, use the question mark to end your letters. OK，so 这个部分也提醒大家一下哈。好，那这里呢这三篇哈，老师这个小时很短，我就要把这三篇讲完。那请你特别再看一下。Of course, this is a better one. Okay, sample two is a better one because it includes the important messages being talked about. OK， 你看你叫人家你要看哪几页这些东西哈，所以那甚至他告诉你说25页有哪些你可能会需要的东西哈，那所以就是这样，不要告诉别人说我们有很多很好的东西哦。可是你没有很具体把它说出来，那这个也是因为你们是750的同学哈，我老师要特别提一下 cultural wise 提到文化这件事情，我们很重要一件事情是，我们台湾人会很希望告诉人说我们有很好的东西，对，可是呢in the future probably you should consider being a little bit more specific. You can tell people what is really so good about it. Okay, so if you know that you have so many good things, so what is so good about it? Mention it, okay, and then single it out， 把它说出来，把这个好的东西说出来，强烈推荐什么东西。那不要害羞，知道吗？有时候我们很害羞说去推荐别人这些事情。那在西方的文化里面 ，you should be straightforward， 知道吗？你要直接去告诉人家哈。OK， 好 ，so this is another thing that we can mention。那一样，即便它是书写，那我还是觉得有一些额外东西是多益考试之外你要知道哈。So this is why I'm including this here for you. OK， 这个小时很短，那没关系。如果你有空的话，自己再把这个画面停格哈，然后再把里面文字再看清楚一点，好不好哈？就是自己再把这边的文字再看清楚，因为有很多东西是值得我们其实如果是实体课程的话，我们可以讲更多。But anyways, that is basically everything for this hour. Okay, thank you.